Today we're going to read the story, The World's Birthday, a Rosh Hashanah story by Barbara Diamond Golden, pictures by Jeanette Winter. Here we go. Daniel loved Rosh Hashanah. He could wear his new clothes for the holiday, and on the way to shul, he would step on all the fallen leaves, crunch, crunch. He could almost hear the sound of the shofar calling, "Wake up, wake up." Best of all, everyone in his neighborhood would stop to wish him a Shana Tova.
How many more days until Rosh Hashanah? Daniel asked his papa one bedtime. He knew it was soon. Mama was already mixing the dough for the round braided challahs. 2 more days, Papa answered. Now come to bed, you two. He called to Daniel's sisters, Leah and Naomi. Why do I have to go to bed when they do? Complained Naomi. I'm the oldest. Because I only have time for one bedtime story, said Papa. What'll it be? Tell us one about Rosh Hashanah, said Daniel. I know the Purim story and the Pesach story, and I know that one, Naomi interrupted. Rosh Hashanah is the world's birthday. You're right, Papa said. On Rosh Hashanah, we celebrate the time when Hashem created the world and all the things in it.
On my birthday, I have a party, said Daniel. Could we have a party for the world? But what would you do at a party like that? Asked Papa. I would have a cake and candles, and I'd invite the whole world. Please, me too, said little Leah. Of course you too, said Daniel. He pulled affectionately on Leah's blankie. Could we have such a party, Papa? A party for the world's birthday? What a silly idea, said Naomi. Talk to me tomorrow, said Papa.
The next day, Daniel hadn't forgotten about the birthday of the world. Mama, he asked, can we please go to the bakery so I can buy the biggest cake that Mr. Gutman has for Rosh Hashanah? Why do you want to buy a cake, Daniel? Mama asked. Naomi and I are making those nice honey cakes. It's for the world's birthday, Daniel told her. But you can't have a party for the world, said Naomi. It's much too big to fit into our house. Daniel looked all around the house, in the kitchen, in the living room, in the bedrooms, even in the bath. There wasn't enough room for the entire world. Maybe Naomi was right. I know, Daniel said. I'll ask Mr. Gutman. He knows all about parties and birthday cakes.
Naomi walked Daniel to the bakery. She shook her head at him at every other step. But Daniel didn't notice. He bought the biggest cake in the bakery window with the money Mama had given him. Mr. Gutman gave him a few pennies change. It's for a party for the world, he told Mr. Gutman. Rosh Hashanah is the world's birthday.
In all the years I've been selling challahs, round ones, and honey cakes for Rosh Hashanah, I never knew that. How do you make a party for the world? Asked the baker. I was going to ask you that, said Daniel. Maybe you should ask your grandfather instead, said Mr. Gutman. He's a rabbi. He would know if anyone does. I will, said Daniel, but please, Mr. Gutman, will you come to my party? Don't worry, I'll come, said Mr. Gutman. Maybe you'll want some candles before you go for the birthday cake? Oh, I forgot, said Daniel. He counted out his pennies. 1, 2, 3. You do not even have enough for 1 box of candles, said Naomi. Here, take 4 boxes, said Mr. Gutman. It's on me. After all, the world is no young chicken. Thank you, said Daniel.
Daniel and Naomi put the boxes of candles in their pockets and together carried the cake down the street to Grandpa's house. They knocked on his door. Grandpa, said Daniel, since it's Rosh Hashanah, and Rosh Hashanah is the world's birthday, I want to make a birthday party for the world. Have you ever seen a party for the whole world? No, said Grandpa. I've never heard of anyone making a birthday party for the world. Isn't the world too big to come to a party? See, I told you so, said Naomi. Grandpa looked thoughtful. There is something you could do. What, Grandpa? On Rosh Hashanah, people like to make cards for each other and wish each other a Shana Tova. Maybe you could make a card for the world and wish for a good new year for everyone and everything. But the party tonight. Don't worry, said Grandpa. Gently, he touched Daniel's shoulder. I'll come tonight. You can show me the card then. I will, Grandpa, Daniel said.
It's so nice that even though the grandpa was so busy, he was willing to do this with him before the holidays started.
He's very thoughtful.
He and Naomi walked back to their house, Daniel carefully carrying the cake. Now what are we going to do with it, asked Naomi. We'll still have the party, said Daniel. Naomi put her hands on her hip. You can't do that. You can't have the party without the guest of honor. Don't worry, answered Daniel.
Sounds like Daniel has some ideas. Let's see what happens. After supper, Daniel began to work on the card. As he drew, he remembered the story Papa had told him of how Hashem created the world, of how Hashem made darkness and light, then the sky and the land and all the other things.
Daniel drew the stars, the sun, and the moon in his pictures. He made fish, birds, animals, and people. When he finished his drawing, he thought about his mother giving him the money for the cake. He thought about the baker and the boxes of candles. So much kindness. He thought about his grandfather and the card with all the things that Hashem had created. Suddenly, he knew that before Rosh Hashanah would start, he could have a party for the whole world.
He's really preparing. That night, Mr. Gutman and Grandpa came to Daniel's house. Daniel led them all outside. Mama, Papa, Leah, Naomi, Mr. Gutman, and Grandpa. Why are we going outside? Naomi asked. You'll see, Daniel answered. He walked in front of them carrying the big birthday cake into the night, close to the sky and the trees and the grass and the animals and the whole world. Wow, look what he accomplished. What a beautiful way to celebrate Rosh Hashanah.
He put the cake down on the grass and reached into his pocket for the candles. He began to place them on the cake. Naomi was the first to understand. I guess you can have a party for the world, she said. Let me help you. Thanks, said Daniel. When they finished, Mama lit the candles. So many, Leah said. Well, that's because the world is so old, answered Daniel. The candles blazed against the darkness.
Let's sing Happy Birthday World, Daniel said. They sang, and you know who sang the loudest? Daniel. Just as they finished the song, a strong breeze came along, whoosh, and it blew all the candles out. Daniel looked up at the sky and smiled. I hope you remembered to make a wish first, he said. The end.
Morah, Beth, I wonder what they did with the cake. Maybe when Rosh Hashanah started, maybe they shared it with some neighbors or
Like
friends.
Mr. Gutman.
Right? Maybe they gave him a piece.
Grandpa.
Yeah.
That would have been a kind thing to do and a
Right.
great way to celebrate Rosh Hashanah with all of our friends and our family. Shana Tova, everybody.
Shana Tova.
Bye.